Yesterday I was talking to my friend, and as I was talking to him, I had this idea. And the idea was, what if I were to offer this shadow work that I've been so immersed in, going to a retreat last week, having such powerful experiences, working and then continuing that with myself, and then having worked and done some shadow work with some clients. And I was like, what would it look like to actually offer this to others in a more formal way and to really provide it in an elevated way for myself as a teacher, but also share that with others. And as I said this, it was kind of coming out and flowing, and then this wave of emotion and fear came up. It was, what if nobody signs up? What if it doesn't work out? What if I can't get the results for people? What if I'm not good enough to be able to do that? And in that moment, it was like, I was thinking of something that I really wanted to do, of something that felt so right. And I was also pushing at an edge that was a bit scary. I was pushing at some of my fears of the failure, of things not working out. And for me, I had that. I go to bed, and then I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, this feels like I have a little bit of angst, and I'm a little anxious, but this feels so good at the same time. I feel literally like sometimes I'll use the analogy, it's like my heart is like Hulk coming into itself. And really in the last few months, it's been kind of the Hulk as a human, and then my heart expanding into this being each time I'm doing something new. And so I'm reflecting, I'm writing, I'm journaling this morning, and I'm like, I'm a bit anxious, but I like this. And then part of me is like, I wish I could go back to yesterday when I didn't have this idea or thought of like something I could go and do. And then I remembered I had just been reading a book called The Way of the Superior Man, which in the last 3 weeks I've been recommended it 4 times by 4 separate people. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to read this book. And in the book, it talks about our edge, this piece. And the edge in this case is just when I think of something I want to do, when you think of something you want to do and you're like, oh, that's a little much, like, that's a little bit scary. That's our edge, right? You're kind of like, ooh, there's a little bit of an expansion that you're not there yet, but you're capable of creating that. And in the book, it was talking about this beautiful balance that I am still in process of navigating, but really attempting it, trying it out, which is with our edge, with our being, with our expansion into this life, being able to push our edge a little bit, do a little bit of things, have the confidence and the courage to say, hey, this is something I would really like to do, and to feel the fear that comes up, because that's really in essence the beauty of it all. Because the alternative is I sit, it's me 2 days ago where I'm kind of sitting and I'm okay, but I don't understand the fear that's limiting me. So it's like, if we don't push our edge, we'll never know the thing that's actually limiting us in the first place. And so by saying, hey, this is something I want to do, all of a sudden, I now am aware of these more true fears that I have. So I'm like, wow, it's so interesting that I have these fears of things not working out, of nobody signing up. And I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful. And so it's this experience of our being, if we're able to intentionally want to expand our being and to continually grow, that little bit of pushing our edge is beautiful. And it doesn't need to be like this massive thing all the time, but it's just a little healthy, like, here's where I'm at right now. This would be kind of the next step that's a little bit beyond where I'm at. And I just find that so fascinating. And in the book, it just talked about we lose touch with our fears if we don't actually push our edge a little bit. And so which side do we want to be on? And there's a mixture of both, but like that to me is beautiful. And right now in this season of my life, it's a lot about just giving that little nudge, going a little bit forward, and making friends as well with this. Like, if I did that, this feels, like I would need to expand in a beautiful way, or I get to expand in a beautiful way. And so I'm curious for you, what would that kind of next little expansion be? And what would come up in that process of you saying that, and be almost curious of like, whoa, I didn't know this was a fear of mine. Point being, that's what's on my mind. Peace and love.